All right, today is the day that we're going to go over some stocks. Now, there's something I want to talk to you about RIOT. This might be revenge trading, possibly flirting with revenge trading, but I got to make all my money back. Now, the lesson is on RIOT is I like using the RSI for a couple of reasons, for a momentum indicator along with just oversold and overbought. Now, what we have is the divergence, okay, lower lows, and then we're getting some sort of a higher high on the RSI, which should resolve in a nice move to the upside. But this is the thing. This is when it gets tricky. We are down here in these areas. Now, this is a gap fill, this yellow line over here. We won't get too far on the right now. We'll get into more if it starts doing what we like it to do. Now, what I'm wanting to pay attention to is this area right here, where we see this nice reversal pattern on the 1 hour time frame. This was an area that a lot of people went long the stock, and then a lot of people had to exit the stock on that given day. But what we can understand is this level down here is pretty critical, and this level up here has become critical. And so we want to see which one's going to break first. And then all we do is grab our mean 50%, which is where the stock continues to bounce at. Okay, so we could draw literally a line. Let's say right here, and then at the current resistance that it's at, and that's going to give us right around this pattern right here. That's usually where I find it. Is I want to find or put my lines in where the struggle happens. Okay, this could not get over it. We have a nice little wick right here, and then we have this reversal candle, and notice that it's retracing a lot further down this prior green bar, which does tell us that there's a lot of sellers there. And then it proves it to us right over here again. And then we are on a downtrend for sure. Keep getting rejected by the 50 moving average. Now, that's the 50 exponential moving average. We use that to determine the trend. If it's beneath the stock, then it's on an uptrend. If it's over the stock like it is possibly on a downtrend. Now, let's pay back attention to the RSI. Notice that we have a high right here, okay? And we have a high right here. Notice that we are not past the high, okay? We're making a lower low, but on the RSI, we are starting to try to make an equal high or possibly even a higher high coming up, despite the divergence that we are getting with the RSI on the bottom. This is kind of telling me that we may possibly be getting ready for more of an accumulation phase. Okay, so if you wanted to play tops and bottoms, you could probably do so. I would pay attention to when the moving average continues to push, but we are kind of basing out a little bit. So that's something I might look for when starting to get into a horizontal pattern, which I find to be important. Now, we've been looking at PTON, and PTON is going to try to move without us pre-market. It came down to the buy area. Okay, it held up right here beautifully like we thought. Underneath 111 was the entry, and we got the move, but wasn't expecting anything too serious or crazy. This was more or less the buy area. Okay, and that's right around the 50% of the entire move. Made sense to us. We are catching some buyers. Depending on what is happening, we will get a nice push. Now, I don't like the way it came down. Decent amount of momentum. The other thing is this pattern is a super strong pattern, okay, before it comes down. On this chart, the hourly chart, it's like a J hook for the bears. Now, this is also, which is a very strong reversal, is a double top on a smaller time frame. And so what we want to do is just pay attention to the smaller time frames, showing us the price action of where support used to be and then where now a resistance is going to be. Notice that in this scenario, this was where the J hook comes in, but we get ourselves let's see, delete. Now we get ourselves a lower low. Sweet, looking like we got ourselves a buy setup coming, and then we get a lower high. Now it's just a trend reversal at that point. Once it comes through this bottom, and we really should have found more buyers here. on a technical standpoint. When I say should have, it doesn't mean it's gonna, right? And then it sells off. So this is an area that may act as a nice resistance for the stock now, even though we are getting that pattern. What I'd like to see is it pop up, take some off the table. If it could hold this area where it completely failed yesterday, well, now we're on the uptrend to continue for some higher prices. So that's PTON on what we're looking for. Let's get into the SPY. It continues to do, guess what we want it to. So it went sideways. It held the lows. This was the lows of yesterday. Those are the new lines that we snapped our support and resistance in. Let's go to an hourly time frame. So we said that it was going to continue to chop back and forth, go back and forth for the next couple of days. Kind of between this area over here on the chart is chewing through some of the old buyers right around here, maybe getting out of their position, or sellers, and then same thing with over here. It took a while to get underneath. Now, I would have liked to see it, but it doesn't surprise me that it's not coming down in an angle, but it's still staying in that area. I would have rather seen it possibly come down and then go up, putting in this sideways motion before coming down. Now, all this shows is this is possibly a weaker pattern to the downside. It's sloping down, lower lows. Once it decides to give, I think it will actually, put in a nice move to the downside is the hope. So we are catching some buyers there. Makes sense. Not sure if today is going to be the day or if we're going to make a lower low. We'll see if we get another bottom or a lower low, or we're going to pivot and a lower high and then come up, fail, roll over, and then crash. Regardless, this is still the line in the sand. Okay, we get above that, we are bullish. We start getting below this, hourly closes underneath. Let's see what it is. 444. The stock's going to continue down. Now, other than that, if you found this information to be useful, be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, give us a thumbs up for the algorithm, and we'll see you tomorrow or later today.